Hey everybody, welcome back. This is the last part of our 4-part series, and I really hope that you've been making the journey along with us. I've been making it with you, and I hope that you have set your sights on some new goals this year, and this is applicable for every year. So taking out these principles and reviewing them and coming back over intention, focus, resolve, and discipline, and seeing how those things apply to our life is really going to be the key. You know, I thought long and hard about what we were going to talk about today, about resolve, and I want you to know that I have been doing this journey with you. Just recently I did something a little brave. You know, I had my own goals, my sights focused in on something, I was narrowing it down, I was setting my focus and my gaze, and engaging in the same concepts that we've been talking about, getting up early in the morning and staying up late at night to work on my goal. And today I come to you with my very first moment of rejection. In fact, I got my very first rejection letter from a piece of writing that I had submitted, and today I want to talk about the word resolve, knowing that in the back of my mind I have this looming personal experience to share with you. But you know, resolve is one of those things that you don't know about until something goes wrong. It's not when everything is going great. It's not do you have the discipline, because that's what discipline is, when things are, you're active in that moment. But what happens when things don't look so great? Are you going to stop, or are you going to continue on? You know, we often hear about these stories, getting back up again and having the faith to kind of pull up your bootstraps and keep moving. Well, it's a lot more difficult than that. It's actually when you've been knocked down once or twice, when you've taken an emotional blow or a physical blow or even a spiritual blow. Are you willing to do what it takes to get back on and say, you know, my goal is worth it, and not only is my goal worth it, but I'm worth it too. And I stand in that place today to encourage you to push and push and push until we get that muster of resolve that we need to really see our goals through. You know, Seth Godin came out with a new book. It's called The Dip, and it basically talks about the concept of when you're going for something, when you're going for a goal, inevitably you see great results. You start off with your goal and you're super excited and you see results, and then you hit what's called the plateau, or the dip as he would call it, and that's when things kind of flatline. In some cases they even get worse. You know, case in point, there's lots of reality shows now on losing weight, and you'll see people who drop all kinds of weight in the first few weeks, and all of a sudden they hit a plateau, and even later on in the journey you might even gain weight. I mean, how horrible when you're trying to get yourself together, when you're getting up, you're exercising, you're eating right, you're doing everything right, and then you hit a plateau. That is resolve. So I want you to think and prepare yourself. Perhaps you've already hit a wall. Perhaps you're going to be hitting a wall very soon. But what are you going to do? You know, in where I live, we have emergency kits. It's either very cold, or even where I've lived, it's been very warm, or there's hurricanes, and you might be close to the beach or the mountains or whatever, and you have these emergency kits. We keep them in our car. We keep them in our home. So what's your emergency kit for your goal? The goal that you set out for a few weeks back, the goal that you've been disciplined and putting many benchmarks alongside of, the one that you've been focusing your sights on. What's your emergency plan if that doesn't go as you've intended? What happens then? What will you do? How can you begin to prepare yourself for the emotional and physical challenges that may come with our goal-setting process? How many of you guys know that nobody's interested in coming against something that's not moving? You know what I mean? If you're not making any progress, you will not receive opposition. But my friends, I will tell you that if you are doing something great for yourself, if you're making advancements forward, then you definitely have the kind of resistance that comes against you. That is what we're talking about today, your resolve. The ways that you can strengthen your resolve are pretty simple, really. And it really deals with what you do beforehand. So how many of you know that coming up with your emergency plan ahead of time is kind of your lifeline, saying, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to safeguard in the event that this doesn't work as planned. Sometimes you might have a friend or an accountability for an area that you know you're not super strong in, or some of you will have contingency plans. You'll say, I'm going to tuck this away. That's why we have emergency funds and emergency kits for things that happen unexpectedly. They're things that we pull out. And for me, you know, what it is as a writer and as a speaker, my goal and my emergency kit, my resolve is strengthened when I say, really? So I've taken my letter of rejection and I've posted it where I can see it, and it makes me work harder. I'm working in the next phase of edits. I'm working to create new context. I'm working to get it out there even more. So I want to continue to take this journey with you. But as we wrap up, it's only prudent and wise for us to think about what kind of tenacious spirit we're going to have as we go about reaching our goals. You know, I don't want our time to end. There's so much more we need to say. But having the focus, having the intention, discipline, and resolve are four key tenets to maximizing our goal this year and every year to come. I really hope that you've made the journey, and I would ask you and invite you to please share with our colleagues here in the comment section so everybody can see what it is that your sights are narrowed in on, and maybe how you're being disciplined or what you're coming against or how you focused your gaze. I can't wait to talk to you more in our forum.